Hey, how we doing? Hey, how we doing, everybody? I'm excited to have you guys on today. So we're gonna get into some really good conversation that I think is gonna be good, right? Because you guys know I've been talking about, investing in real estate and wanting to see our people, and particularly people that look like me, really coming to the space of real estate. I mean, not only do I want you owning homes, but I really want you in a position where not just owning homes, but that you become an investor. And, there's a good way to do everything, and then there's a wrong way to do everything, or an easy way and a hard way. I think anytime you start talking about success, it's going to take dedication, it's going to take perseverance, it's going to take fervency, it's going to take a level of mastery, you being willing to study, you being willing to show up, you being willing to stay in the right rooms and around the right people that have more than you and are doing more than you. I think that's very, very important. When you get to a point where it's like, all your circle, everybody's at the same level doing the same thing. Unfortunately, there are a lot of circles like that, but those circles do not produce growth, right? They produce the same thing you've already seen. And I know if you're anything a part of the way that I think or my community, is because you realize that there's more in life and you're ready to get it, and you're ready to learn, and you're ready to grow, and you're ready to do all that, Mo Better, right? You're ready to do all that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pray really quickly and then jump into this conversation with this amazing, brilliant woman, Tina Williams. I had the pleasure of meeting her. I don't know, it might have been a couple years ago already, Tina, right? But she is killing it in the grant space. And literally, she can help your business with anything. She can help any business, whether it's a restaurant, a hair salon, a shoe store, like anything. But obviously, I'm always having the conversation about real estate. And one of the things that I found very interesting is that she can really help to position you get a 501c3 if that is indeed your vision and your goal, so that you can get grants for those particular businesses. She's today going to be talking about getting grants in the area of affordable housing. Okay, that's where I really want to see people grow. When you start getting affordable housing grants, it really puts you in a position, Carolyn, to be able to make impact with people that are economically disadvantaged, or domestic violence, or VA, or Section 8, like the list goes on. And so I'm going to have her come on, but she's going to be at the Monopoly in Real Life conference on August the 31st. I really want to encourage you guys. Some of you all might be like teeter-tottering, trying to figure out, am I going to come? Should I come? I'm telling you right now, if you ever wanted to play in the real estate space, which I hope all of you do, this is absolutely your time to go ahead and say, you know what, let me get plugged in. Let me do what I got to do. Let me show up so that I can learn and so that I can grow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready to bring my girl on here, Tina. Hey, Tina.
Hi.
Yay, I'm so excited you're on. I know you got big plans this weekend. Congratulations. I know your beautiful daughter is getting married. That's super exciting. You
Yes.
another son in the family. That's always a blessing to see that. But I want to go ahead and jump right into this conversation with you, where affordable housing and 501c3 grants, because your company will help to develop the 501c3 for any entrepreneur, and then help them put together a whole plan where they can get grants for whatever it is their passion is, right?
Yes, yes. And a lot of times people have a misconception that if you're in a nonprofit, you don't make money, and that's just not true. So today we're going to be looking at some other nonprofits that, are in affordable housing. And what we do is we model, guys. We just model other successful ones because your mission and your passion is going to reach other people. So that's why it's okay for multiple nonprofits that have the same mission, because your mission might be over here. Your mission might be specifically women. Your mission might be specifically youth. You're trying to get youth into real estate ownership or whatever. Whatever your mission and passion is, you're going to be able to get some funding. You, if you have that passion, you have that drive, you need that 501c3. You need a great program that can, transform a person. So what grant makers are looking for is, can you deliver on the transformation? So, Jewel, I do have like some things that I can present to your audience today to just kind of like show them what nonprofits look like and what it would look like if they're doing affordable housing. So I'm going to
Yeah.
pull up, guys. You can open up a free GuideStar account and you can search for nonprofits that are in your area. Let's say you want to do youth development. Just go ahead and search for other youth development organizations on this free website. But I'm going to pull up a couple of them here. This is one that's in Ann Arbor. It's called Ann Arbor Affordable Housing Corp. It's out of Ann Arbor, obviously. They got a 501c3. They want to relieve the shortage of decent, safe, and sanitary housing for persons of low income. Okay, guys, that's what Jewel is doing. Jewel is doing that monopoly in real life. She's trying to help you help these other people and help her nonprofit help with the shortage of decent, safe, and sanitary housing for persons of low income, including families and elderly, right? Handicapped or disabled persons in the city of Ann Arbor. Now, Jules focusing on Detroit because definitely we need that in Detroit. But it's really great to just model other successful nonprofits when you're starting out, right? Look at this. They get about $500,000 in grants, but they are also receiving program service revenues. That's your rents. Rents might be from Section 8 or, different people that are paying you outside of the grants. Now, just because they only got $500,000 in grants doesn't mean you're only going to get $500,000 in grants. But that's just what they might focus more on the rents themselves. Guys, another thing they just do, they provide low income housing to the citizens of Ann Arbor. You guys can see that right here. That's what this company does. And you can also see when you're going through their 990, you can also see here that they have employees. So let's kind of go to that section on their return. And you can see that they have wages, fees, and other things that they are paying to keep that going. Keep it, and so they have about $1.3 million worth of expenses. So when you're in a nonprofit, you don't have to worry about, hey, am I gonna, is there money? Yes, there's money. It's just you basically are getting grants. Now here's another one. This one is in Detroit, and you probably heard of these people before. It's called Life Builders. They exist to restore dignity and provide hope to the residents of Regent Park. So really, they only do one little part, a Northwest Detroit neighborhood. So they're not even doing the whole Detroit. They're just doing Regent Park in Detroit. We accomplish this in three ways: by empowering youth with life skills, providing affordable housing, and building a community shared with shared values. That's called Life Builders. Now, guys, look what they get. They get $1.5 million in grants and contributions for just Regent Park. Okay. And then they do get some program service revenue. They got $1 million last year. It's a little bit lower this year, but look,
Hey,
it
hey,
weighted it
Tina,
out.
I got a quick question on that. Are they getting these grants usually within their first year?
Some of them are not. So when you are small, when you're starting out, you have to usually use a fiscal sponsor, because generally when I'm going to share with you something. Okay, let me give you an example of a grant. This is Home Depot. Home Depot does grants of 100,000 to 500,000 if you're going to be doing veteran housing, right? But look at their criteria, right? They have some criteria here, veteran housing grants. All right, so here's the criteria. You have to be a 501c3 that maintain a good standing with the Internal Revenue Service for 5 years. So this, they'll tell you, some grant makers, yes, you can get those big grants. Some grant makers, no. Like on this one, you got to have been open for 5 years, and you have to have an operating budget over $300,000 and have audited financials for the last 3 years. Now, there is a way to get around this, is when you have a fiscal sponsor that have been open for more than 3 years, 5 years, and have audited financials. So I'll give you an example. I get funded through Comerica, and I use a fiscal sponsor called Black United Fund of Michigan. So
keep talking, Tina. Keep talking.
okay, yeah, I use a fiscal sponsor called Black United Fund of Michigan, where they receive the grant, and then when they receive the grant, I end up they take a fee off of the top of it, and then I get the rest of the money to administer my program. So sometimes you are not able to get those large grants right up front, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. Or even if you don't have audited financials, you can partner with an organization that has it, so that when you start having your revenues, you'll be able to do it yourself. All right, so guys, I'm going to pull over. I was just showing you this, also still showing you the contributions and grants here. You can see that Life Builders got $1.5 million in contributions and grants. They also got program service revenue of $616,000. Here's their programs. A lot of times you can see what their program is. Guys, your program will always be different. Every nonprofit has a different mission. So Life Builders is a faith-based nonprofit making strategic investments in Detroit Region Park neighborhood, all grounded in the love of truth of God's word. We are addressing the deficits in education, public safety, quality, affordable housing, and job opportunities for youth. We are reversing the past 20 years of disinvestment and hopelessness in the 97 block neighborhood by the operation of the community and worship center. Life Builders has refurbished and operates in an apartment complex and 23 homes that are rented at an affordable rate. Life Builder also serves as a property manager for another apartment complex and 11 additional homes. We have converted an abandoned elementary school into an early childhood education center, and then they continue on with their thing and schedule. Oh, so you can, guys, you don't have to just start from scratch every time, guys. We can just look at what else is happening, and you see these people are getting, starting these nonprofits, and they're getting like $2 million. Now, I'm not going to say that you're going to get $2 million right at the beginning, but goodness, if you don't start anywhere, you won't ever have it.
Yeah, because even if your first year you walk away with a couple $100,000, possibly $500,000 or $1 million, that's still really, really, really good and setting you up for success. Because one of the things that impressed me, I mean, there's some of these 501c3s making millions and millions and millions of dollars serving people that they really have a heart for. And that's what I love about what you did when when you were laying out our 501c3 that we got approved for, and now moving on and getting ready to be doing some great things. But what I love is that this really makes you get specific. Who do you want to serve? How many employees do you need? Do you need a facility? What products do you need? What marketing possibly? What supplies? Like what are your hours of operation?
Yes.
Like, it really makes you get into the details of what you want, opposed to just saying, I want some grants or I want a 501c3. What is the purpose for? And that's why I love working with you, because somebody asked me, I've had a couple of people ask, well, can I just get online and do a 501c3? You can, but explain, Tina, why your company, I honestly believe this with everything in me, that your company, if you're serious about really developing your business and having a 501c3, why your company, I think, should not be optional. And this is why you need to be at the Monopoly in Real Life conference, because every time you hear something, it helps to build upon a belief, whether it's a right belief or a wrong belief. And so
Mm,
you really got to get in these rooms so you can get what you need to get, so you can
mm.
end up going where you need to go. We got 5 months left at the end of the year. Some of you need to just do whatever you got to do. August 31st, I know it's the holiday. September 1st, we're going out on the field. Do whatever you got to do and say, you know what? I better have my butt in the seat, because what I'm not willing to do is keep hanging out in average environments, average situations, and now I'm not getting the results that I want. You have to have a level of obsession in order
Yes.
to be successful. Obsession is necessary. You'll be
Yes.
ridiculed for it. People tell you doing too much. Don't worry about them, because them same people gonna come back to you and say, "Girl, can you look out?"
What you said, what you said,
So why
because
your company? Yeah.
yeah, so I would say I'm going to share with you guys. Here's the thing. You can slap something together, or you can have a program that grant makers want to fund. Okay. And a lot of times what I get when we have people come into our nonprofit cohort, they want to do this. They want to help the elderly, they want to help kids, they want to help their mama, they want to help this and that, and they, without our guidance, would have put that in a grant application, and then they would have been declined, because you do have to be very specific in your grant. You have to have a defined target audience, because guess what, guys? The grant makers have a defined target audience. Let me pull up some grant makers real quick for you. So here's some grant makers. Okay, let me sign in. Oh, it's telling me to sign into my Adobe, guys. You know how they make you do that. But hold on one second. Let me just sign back into my Adobe. While I'm signing this in, Jewel, can you just go over a couple of more things that you went through while you were going through our cohort, while I'm pulling up our
Yeah.
grant makers?
Yeah. So this is really important, and I hope you guys are really paying attention this morning. Go back and even watch this replay again. You may not even, I don't know what your vision is and what it is that you really want for your life, but whatever it is going to take details, and it's going to take sitting down with the people that can help pull out the details. When I sat down with Tina and her team, there were some things that she asked me that honestly I had not thought about. But it was so good for me, because the more detailed you are in your vision, the more likely it is to come to pass. If you just, oh, you know how the saints do, I want to be blessed. Bless what? Bless what? Bless where? Bless who? Bless why? And there were even some things, even where domestic violence is concerned, because I was in a abusive marriage in my first marriage. My husband now is amazing, but my first marriage, he was abusive. And so I really do have a heart for women in domestic violence. I've sat on the board for domestic violence shelter. But then when Tina started saying, okay, have you considered you're going to have maybe security guards, police officers, therapists on board, I was like, oh, well, I'm not really trying to do all that. But some of you on here might be listening like, oh, I would love to do that. So then that would be for you. But what I love about her team is she's going to help you to craft with specifics of what you need. And again, I want to encourage you guys, do whatever you got to do. Get to the Monopoly in Real Life conference August 31st. September 1st, we're actually going out in the field looking at 2 houses and 2 mobile homes that you guys will have an opportunity to invest in, but you're going to have an opportunity to listen to Tina, and it's going to start to pull all the pieces and parts together. So Tina, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I want you to show them this, and then you guys move to action, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Okay, Tina, what you going to share with us, girl?
I'm going to share with them some grant makers. There's over 5 million grant makers in the United States that have a requirement. I'm just going to quickly share this to them, because a lot of times people are like, well, why would I get money? Why are people trying to give us money? Well, guys, the IRS has something called a tax on failure to distribute income for private foundations. Now, guys, a private foundation is a nonprofit that receives more than third of its income from one source. So you'll have Bill and Melinda Gates with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Amazon Foundation, Google Foundation, Home Depot Foundation, Ford Foundation, JP Morgan Chase Foundation. Guys, the reason they have foundations is because they get a for-profit tax. There's a for-profit tax shelter. It lowers their for-profit taxes. But so what they do is they take some money, they get the money and put it in a private foundation. But now the IRS is saying, okay, we've given you your tax break on your for-profit side. You put your money in your private foundation. So your private foundations are required to spend annually a certain amount of money or property for charitable purposes, including grants to other charitable organizations. Now, public charity, which is what you would be, would receive funding. Private foundations have to spend money, right? A foundation that fails to pay out the distributed amount will, in a timely manner, will receive a 30% excise tax, and then an additional 100% tax is triggered if they fail to make up the distribution from the notice of the IRS. So that is why, when I pulled this, for the foundation, not the motor company, had $12 billion in assets, and they gave out $560 million in grants, because you guys, a 100% tax on $12 billion is $12 billion. So definitely they're going to spend the money, right? But they do get a chance to tell you what they will not spend money on, but this is what they will spend money on. We're specifically talking about workforce development. So if you have like a program for those disenfranchised people, youth, next generation workforce development, that's that. But we're specifically talking about metropolitan opportunity. So this program works across the United States to support efforts to reach beyond individual neighborhoods and cities to connect residents with opportunities in their broader metropolitan economies, expanding access to quality housing for low-income families, to asset building for homes. So this is one thing that they want you to do. And like you see, they have other fields. They want to do housing, human services. So human services is your shelter for your people that are maybe homeless due to domestic violence or whatever, but they want to help with housing development, even if it's not someone that's homeless. They want to do affordable housing, right? But like you said women abuse prevention. They'll do some grants for that as well. This particular grant maker does adolescents, ethnic or racial groups, females, low income people. So if you are helping this target, you will be able to go. Now, guys, remember I said specific. If you do early childhood, if you say I'm going to do kids from 0 to 18, you're probably not going to be specific enough for them, because they want you to do adolescents for this grant maker, or so you got to be specific. This particular grant maker has no deadlines, and they tell you whether or not you get the loan for 3 months from the time that you submit your formal proposal. I pulled up Chase as well, because they specifically do affordable housing right here. This foundation supports programs designed to connect low and moderate income people to economic opportunity, with special emphasis towards programs designed to reduce the cost of housing, improve the quality and safety of homes, and prepare families for the costs and responsibilities of home ownership, and help communities thrive. And they want to do with some financial literacy as well. But like you can see, they want to do with home ownership, housing development, all that good stuff. And this particular grant maker, you got to be in one of their states of giving. And this particular grant maker doesn't have any deadlines as well. So I just want to say, Jewel, for your people, we gotta be getting out there and learning about how to make ourselves look great. We can't be all over the place on our grant applications, and I think that's why our company is really great at helping people narrow their focus, start with one program. You can always add more programs, but you're going to start with one and not have mush everything into one, because that's going to make you not be able to report back to the grant maker any success. That's why they want you to start with one defined outline and one defined outcome. So you might take somebody that is homeless and now they are in a home, an affordable home, and you can measure that. So that's what we got today, Julie.
That's so good. Listen, you always bring all the tea. And this is why, yes, you could easily go and say, I'm going to do it on my own, but you getting approved for the grants is what we want. You just don't want to say, okay, I was able to do a 501c3 on my own. I'm going to apply. First of all, you need a relationship. And that's what I love about Tina and her company. She has relationships with these grant funders. So she knows exactly what they're looking for, and eventually will put you in a position to connect with them. And then now you get relationships with them too. So Tina's going to be live in the building at the Renaissance Center, downtown Detroit, right off the water. Super, super beautiful. August 31st. You do not want to miss it. And September 1st. If you were thinking about it, stop thinking, get in the car, get in the plane, make your destiny, make scaling, make increasing, make social impact, make financial impact a complete priority. Okay, Tina, thank you so much. It's always so much fun. Congratulations, girl. I appreciate you. And thank you for all that you're doing for the Acetified community. Myself and a lot of clients are now taking advantage of Donna and what she has to offer, and we're making impact, and it feels really good. So I really appreciate all the hard work and all the research that you put into, because pretty much you know exactly what grants you're going to go after once that grant writer writes the grant, and that's pretty amazing. So thanks again. Have a great weekend, honey, and we'll talk soon. Thanks everybody for joining. I'll be right back in a minute with the legend herself, Miss Darilyn Bowers, the woman who helped to actually integrate real estate in the city of Detroit and all over the nation. So we'll be back soon. So you guys look out for that live button to come up. Thanks, Tina, again. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.